What's up, everyone? Champet's back again for another UFC predictions video. This time for UFC 304 in Manchester, England. Leon Rocky Edwards versus Belal. Remember the name Muhammad. Very excited for this card. I'm super duper excited. And this is the card that I have the most money I've ever put into any card. I'm very excited. I'll tell you about the spots I've been thinking about. I've been really liking. And man, I'm very hyped for it. Very underrated, I guess, because I don't think people were talking about it as much as like other cards this year. And man, this is a great card out of the UK. So got a lot of great fighters from the UK fighting, and we're gonna see how they do. But first off, let's go ahead and go over last week's results. I lost a little bit less than 1 unit. Shout out to Miranda Maverick. She did her part. She was my big bet of the card, and if only that was the only thing I bet, but it's okay. I wanted. Well, I should get into Miranda Maverick, how she fought. Miranda Maverick looked incredible, in my opinion. 30-27, easy win. She outclassed Dione Barbosa on the feet. Kept distance. Just the distance control and the footwork. You can just see it's a thing of beauty. It's a thing of beauty, and like I said in my breakdown, she reminds me like of Rose in terms of like the movement. Not better than Rose, or like it's like the same caliber of movement, of course not, but like the way she does it is very similar to her style, and you can tell that she is training with her and getting good reps with her. And man, she looked really good. The wrestling was on point. Dione Barbosa was never going to stop her. Fight IQ was on point. Made sure to stay on top. Don't do anything stupid. Was very durable. Was able to take the spinning elbow, no problem. Honestly, Dione Barbosa only had like 3 moments in this fight, off the top of my head. Like 3 like big moments, but like they were nothing compared to everything else Miranda Maverick was doing. I like the improvements we're seeing Miranda Maverick on the feet and on the ground. She's gonna be tough to deal with for anyone. So yeah, only the best of the best girls can really do anything to her on the ground. So yeah, freaking great win. I'm happy that was my big bet, especially because I did awful picking this card. So like to only lose less than 1 unit, I'm not gonna complain for a card I predicted so bad. I got 2 out of I don't even remember how many fights. 2 out of 11. I've never done that bad before, and pray to God never happens again. Yeah, the worst I've done before was it was like 3 out of something, and it was the Austin card. It was the one with Armin Saruki and Vinil Dariush. I did awful on that card, like picking wise, and that's not usually the norm. It is what it is. Usually I'll get at least half right, but sometimes we miss some. Not a big deal. Zhang Young Lee versus Haider Emil. He did not fight how I thought he would. He went into war with Haider Emil. What are you doing? I think his worst mistake, or I guess you maybe don't really want to call it a mistake, he hurt Haider Emil. And because he hurt Haider Emil, it's like, oh, I can get a finish. No, what are you doing? You should have wrestled. Should have wrestled then and there. But then once that happened, he thought he could get the finish, and he went to war with Haider Emil, and that was the mistake. He went to war with like swinging hooks, and if you're doing that with Haider Emil, dangerous game. It is what it is. The fact he didn't even go down is pretty ridiculous. Like this dude Lee's chin is kind of insane. I gotta say that. Like he was done. I'm not gonna act like he's not done, but he wasn't put out by all that output that Haider Emil was throwing. So that was really like impressive to me. So I want to put that out there. But yeah, great win by Haider Emil. I got that one completely wrong. He didn't fight how I thought he would. So it is what it is. I'm okay with losing that one. Sang-Woo Choi versus Steve Garcia. He was fighting so well. He was fighting so well, and then he got hit big, and then he starts throwing passes. Like, no, this is the one thing I was hoping you wouldn't do. That's the one thing I hope TKC got you to not do anymore. He was doing so well. Yeah, Sungwoo Choi's chin let me down again. It is what it is. I shouldn't have probably put 1 unit, but I was like, I might as well. Probably not the best logic to use, but it's okay. Yeah, I the odds it was, I'm not too mad. It is what it is. If he landed first and hurt Garcia really bad, it probably goes my way. It is what it is. And Amanda Lemos versus Verna Janjidoba. Not really sure what she was doing around 2, trying to really initiate the grappling exchanges with Janjidoba. I don't really know why she was doing that, but I thought otherwise she was doing like pretty well, considering like that's her deficiency on the ground. I thought she did like good ground and pound in round 1 when she had the chance to. But man, Janjidoba's grappling, just it's easily one of the best in the division. It's up there with Suarez, up there with Zhang. She's really good, and she deserves to be where she is in the card, like on the top. I think that's totally fair. And man, that personality, how can you not like Janjidoba? I mean, it is what it is. So yeah, I lost under 1 unit, so, or yeah, just a little bit under 1 unit. If you want to round out the 1 unit, that's fine. So yeah, just a little bit of a drop off. Like I said, I'm gonna go through the rest of that card to show how wrong I was. To lose only 1 unit in that sense, it could have been worse. Like that's my point of view. I'm being positive about it. Mo Usman versus Tom Pearson. I was right to not bet this one. Mo Usman ain't no luck. Yeah, no. Thomas Peterson's able. I was very surprised at how good he looked on the feet, because he didn't show that last fight. So I think I'm probably underrating Jamal Pogues, I guess. Yeah, I guess so. So like, man, Thomas Peterson looked good, and hey, that's a great performance to come back off of your your debut loss. Lucy Pudilova versus Luana Carolina. Luana Carolina pieced her up. I thought the size difference, or not size difference, but like, because Pudilova sized up well with Luana Carolina, will play a much bigger factor. It really didn't. Luana Carolina was able to piece her up, and I was like, okay, fair play. Good win by Luana Carolina. I think that was a bad pick on my part. That's completely fair to say. Yeah. Chagnon versus Loik Radzhabov. This was close. I think it could have went either way. I honestly would have given it to Loik, but I get why they gave it to Ogden, because of the arm triangle at the end of round 2, and submissions do definitely count. So I'm not too mad that Trey Ogden won that fight. I think there's arguments for Loik Radzhabov. Not too bad. I don't feel bad about picking that at all. It went by Trey Ogden though. Already talked about this one. Thank you, Miranda Maverick. You're the best. My other fight got right on the card. I got Cody Gibson to win against Brian Callagher. It's a decision. He got it done pretty quick. Nice submission. Brian Callagher ready to get out of there after like taking some good shots. Cody Gibson looked really, really good. Shout out to him. Good developments for him. Already talked about that one. What were you doing? Duhu Choi versus Bill Agio. My streak of picking Bill Agio fights wrong continues, and I'm completely okay with it, because Duhu Choi, I'm happy to see him get a win after 8 years. I'm so happy for him. Bill Agio was doing pretty freaking well though, to be honest. Being like, it did seem like his style was giving problems to Duhu Choi, but Duho Choi, excuse me. But like, Duho Choi still got the power. The guillotines were definitely threatening. The submissions were definitely threatening. It's not like this guy's a slouch off the back. I knew that going in. I wasn't super confident in Bill Agio. I never am. I don't think Bill Agio is that good, and here I am picking him again. Every time I fade this guy freaking wins. Every time I pick him, he loses, which I'm okay with. I'm not the biggest fan of Bill Agio, so very happy Duho Choi won. Cody Durden versus Bruno Silva. Bruno Silva very early on, round 1, was like, oh my god, this is so dumb picking Cody Durden. Then Cody Durden picked it up, and he was going crazy. It's like, this is the best he's ever looked. And then the uppercut Bruno Silva hits him in with round 2. My God, that thing was a thing of beauty. What a win by Bruno Silva. I'm not mad about picking Cody Durden. He was looking pretty good. It is what it is. He got caught. That's the game. I didn't bet on him. This Kurt Holobaugh versus Kanon Kucheski. Kanon. This fight made me mad to like watch. What the hell were you doing, Kanon? Like the fight IQ is just non-existent. Why in round 3 is the round you started wrestling Kurt Holobaugh when you could do that round 1 and 2 and 3? This one I'm like not happy about. Like it is what it is. I didn't bet any money on this guy, and if I did, I would be so mad at myself. Yeah, Kanon is that he's not that guy. Fighting Nerds did nothing for this dude. They did nothing for this dude. So yeah, good win by Kurt Holobaugh. Outlasted him and put that pace on him. That was a great win by Kurt. In front of his family too. That was really nice. Talked about that one. Steve Garcia does what he does. I talked about that one. I'm in dilemmas. Let's get into Edwards versus Muhammad. I'm very, very excited for this card. Starting off with Shauna Bannon versus Alice Ardeline. This Alice girl's awful. This Alice, I watched tape of her because I didn't know who she was. She fought girls like Diana Belbitsa, Sean Whaley. I was like, okay, she's fought some UFC competition. Like this might be good. This might not be too bad. Then I watched some of her fights and it's like, this girl is not good. I think she's kind of awful. I'm not gonna lie. Not like Shannon Bannon's anything special herself, but she's on full camp. Alice is coming in on short notice. I think something like that is gonna play into Shannon's favor, and I think Alice is gonna try and go ham. She's a dog. She's a dog. I'll give her credit to that, even though she has no technique at all. She's a freaking dog. She tries to implement wrestling, but Shannon's on full. Shauna Bannon is on full camp. She should be ready to go. I think I'm going to bet this one, to be honest. Like, I did not like what I saw from Alice's tape, and the odds were not lined how I thought they would be. I thought Alice would be like a big dog, but like Shauna Bannon. She's minus 170. I think I got to play that. Probably like one unit. I'm not going to go crazy on Shauna Bannon. I'll hate myself if I do. But, I mean, shoot, like, I think she kind of works her. Like, she'll be able, I don't like anything from Alice. I really don't. And the only girls she beats are absolute cans. 0-3 in her last fight. Like, these are the opponents. 2-0. Okay, cool. 0-1. 3-4, got 3-0. This is not that active for the past 6 years. Although I actually not true. Like the past 2 years, I guess it's pretty active. I can't be too mad. I think Bannon's gonna win this fight. Yeah. Meg Parkin versus Lukas Breski. This fight, I hate this fight picking wise. I'm going Lukas Breski to win a decision. This is definitely like my hottest take of the card. This is the hottest take of the card. Why do I think this? Let me talk about my story with Mick Parkin. When I watched this Jamal Pokes fight, and we did talk about Jamal Pokes and Thomas Pearson, it's like maybe he is better than like I thought he was. Man, I was like, this dude Mick Parkin's gonna get ranked. This dude's actually unbelievable. I am like so impressed by this fight against Jamal Pokes. And there's possible that happens again here. His last 2 fights against Kyle Machado and Mohamed Ud, I thought he lost both. I'm going to be honest. I thought he lost both of those fights. I thought the Kyle one maybe was close and he could have edged it to him, but like I had a lot of money on him against Kyle and I was sweating. Why was that fight that close? Kyle's not all that. He's okay. I'm not going to act like he's a bum. He's okay, but I'm not crazy about that. And the Mo Usman one, and especially how he looked against Thomas Peterson, don't age well at all. And I thought Mo Usman won that fight. I couldn't believe what I was seeing because Mick Parkin is like, he's like, this guy's actually like a legit prospect. He should be because he trains with like Tom Aspinall, and he's like the main training partner for him. So like, I think if this fight goes on the ground and Mick Parkin takes down Bresky, there's a good chance Mick Parkin does win, but we haven't really been seeing too much of that. I feel like maybe holding against the cage, but I think Bresky would be fine. We saw Bresky be able to get up multiple times against Carl Williams, against Walter Walker, who I don't rate at all. I've already said Walter Walker's, when I watched the tape, one of the worst fighters I've ever seen. Bresky's like really underrated. I do think he's like really underrated, and I think he can win a decision, maybe get a knockout. I'm not gonna go out on a limb and say Mick Parkin gets chinned here. It's one of those heavyweight fights. It probably goes a distance. You're probably better off betting this fight to go over. I'm assuming over 2.5 minus 185. I don't hate that at all. I think that's actually a pretty good number considering. I might bet that. A small amount, but I might bet that. I'm not interested in betting Bresky this time. I was against Walter Walker, not against Mick Parkin. I'm not gonna act like, oh, this is a super confident pick. Not at all. I think Bresky can absolutely win this fight. I think he's live. I don't think Mick Parkin's worth like betting, parlaying this week personally. So yeah. Sam Patterson versus Kiefer Crosby. This fight. I want to pick Kiefer Crosby so bad, but I can't. It's Patterson by sub. Let's go round one. Just on the if this fight goes on the ground, is just such a big discrepancy. It really is. If this fight's on the feet, this dude Patterson's alive to be chinned by anyone. Just how this dude stands up. When I watched this guy's Dana White Contender Series fight, I was like, this guy is like one of the worst I've ever seen get into the UFC, and because of that, I was like, I'm going to go bet Yanal Ashbuz, and it worked out well. And I also went ahead and bet on Johan Lines. That didn't go so well. And I was like, when I saw his grappling in this fight, I was very, very impressed. It's like, okay, this guy's actually like really legit grappling. I didn't see that in the Dana White Contender Series fight from Sam Patterson. But anytime this guy's on the feet, he's liable to get chinned. It's good for him that he's not a lightweight anymore. This is a welterweight bout. Probably good for the chin. But if you don't wrestle, what are you doing if you do that? Like, two things are true in MMA. Fight IQ is king. Cardio is king. Like, show the fight IQ, Sam Patterson. I think Sam Patterson does get it to the ground. I think he does use some smart. He should know Kiefer Crosby's dangerous on the feet. And if he takes on the ground, it's all Sam Patterson. That's what should happen. Sam Patterson for the win. Submission round one. I still have the card. Muhammad Mokaev versus Manel Kape. This is crazy that this is like this low. How is this under Oban Elliott versus Preston Park? I have no idea. This is kind of disgraceful in my opinion. But anyways, this fight is just, I'm so back and forth on. And I've been picking Manel Kape this whole time, but I've been changed to pick Mokaev by decision. Although I do like the things I've been hearing from Mokaev this week. Maybe it makes me think he wants to get a finish, but decision is how I think it happens. I'm not a fan of not Muhammad Mokaev. Not a fan of Kape's, not lack of urgency, but like his lack of volume. I think that can really bite him in the butt here against Muhammad Mokaev, who's going to keep trying to put in work. And Manel Kape, it's not like he's not able to get taken down. He can get taken down, absolutely. I think Mokaev will be able to take him down and do his work. He did have a really bad staph infection going into his last fight against Perez. So I'm going to chalk up that performance at that, even though a lot of past Mokaev performances are just not good. Like, the one that rings in my head is the Jared Gordon one, which is Malcolm Gordon. What? Jared Gordon? No, that Jared Gordon's lightweight. Malcolm Gordon. he was getting worked that fight. I couldn't believe what I was watching because I had a lot of money on Makayev, and he's probably like, I think it was really, really sucky odds. It's like, I can't believe this was a bad bet. I thought this was a lock. I couldn't believe what I was watching. He was able to get this miraculous sub, which is honestly what Makayev is really, really good at. Like, he's really good at finding like random finishes out of nowhere. So that's always good to see from Makayev. But that was such a bad look to be doing that bad against Malcolm Gordon. I actually rate this Charles Johnson performance. I know other people don't, but I do. I rate that one too, even though knee bar, I can't believe he got caught in that, but it's okay. He's a freaking man. He's that dude. Tim Elliott fight, he was losing on the scorecards. To be fair, I thought it was 1-1, but it's the freaking. There's many yikes moments, and Alex Perez fight was definitely not good. Not a good look for Makayev, but Makayev is good, and I'm gonna try to chalk it up to the staph infection. I think he's gonna come out and do very well here against Manel Cap at home. So yeah, I got Muhammad Makayev to win. Obon Elliott versus Preston Parsons. I like Preston Parsons to win a decision here. I think Preston Parsons does what Obon Elliott does well, like better. I just think he does better. Obon Elliott's a freaking dog. I'll give him that. I do like the levels of competition that Preston Parsons has fought in comparison to who Obon Elliott's fought. Samuelsberger, that was a good win, and that I wasn't really impressed by Preston Parsons like too much until like that fight in particular. Like that fight, I remember like that really caught my eye. But when I was looking back, I watched Evan Elder again. I was like, okay, because now I know who the hell Evan Elder is ever since that Sadikov fight. Like, oh, Evan Elder's that dude. He's pretty freaking good. That one ages incredibly. Losing Trevor Giles, not the best, but I remember correctly, like when I did tape, he gassed like pretty bad in that fight. Trevor Giles gave him like a veteran lesson. And D-Rod on short notice, no shame on that. No shame on that to me. I like Preston Parsons to win. I do think he does win. And when you're sitting betting it, the line gets closer, maybe, which it is. So like I'm tempted actually to put I won't put much on Preston Parsons at all. I'm not interested in doing that. But I think he's pretty good. He's pretty good. And I've been impressed by him. I've not been impressed by Obon Elliott. I bet against him with Val Woodburn. I didn't put much on Val Woodburn, but there were glimpses of hope. There were glimpses of hope, which is not a good look for Obon Elliott for me with Val Woodburn. I like Preston Parsons to win. Modestas Bukauskas versus Marcin Prachnio. I like Marcin Prachnio to win by decision. Just when I was looking back, I was thinking to myself without doing tape study, I was like, Modestas Bukauskas is gonna try taking him down and he's gonna win like that. Then I watched this dude doesn't do that. He's a kickboxer, and then at the end of the day, and he puts up less numbers than Prachnio, and I just think he's probably susceptible to the fight. Prachnio's willing to fight, so shoot, I gotta go Prachnio. I think Prachnio is super underrated. His wins. I mean, that Khalil Roundtree win is it's a little older than that, but that Khalil Roundtree win, it's like freaking wine. Modestas win against Zach Paga was like, I had a lot of money on Modestas there, and I was screaming, like, what are you doing? No, thank God he won that fight. But it's like, that's such a bad look to be going like that with Zach Paga. And yeah, like I like Modestas Bukauskas usually, but man, Marcin Prachnio I think is gonna win this one. I think he's gonna use the kicks very well. I think he's gonna outpoint Modestas Bukauskas at the end of the day. So yeah, I got Prachnio. Callan Loughran versus Jake Hadley. Oh, this fight. God, I love Jake Hadley. I want to pick him so bad. I think I'm gonna go Callan Lochran. I might be convinced otherwise. If I make a change in pick, I'll put it in the comments. But he plays off his back too much, Jake Hadley. He does. And like that's the biggest thing for me in this one. I think Lochran's gonna be able to use the wrestling and take down Hadley. Hadley does have great submissions. I'm not gonna deny that. He's going to be the bigger guy in there. He should be in terms of like height and reach. Like Hadley's not small. I'm by no means saying like Lochran's a lock. I don't think that at all. I think Hadley's very live. I get why people are betting Hadley. I might even get there. If I do, it's a really, really small bet. But like on the feet, man, Hadley can box this guy up. I'm being honest. He 100% can. It's just if Lochran uses his brain and takes down Jake Hadley, he probably wins. He probably wins, and that's what I think happens. I think he takes him down, and he holds him down and does like land shots on top. That's what I think happens. I got Colin Lochran to win against Jake Hadley. I'm rooting for Jake Hadley though. Molly McCann versus Bruna Brazil. I think Molly should. I'll give Bruna Brazil some credit. Like Denise Gomes did finish her, but I think she's pretty tough. I think Molly McCann will. This will be a fun fight. There's gonna be a Molly, nice, good performance from Molly, and she's gonna put up a lot of volume. Bruna Brazil's biggest problem is just the lack of volume, and I think that's the biggest problem against the meatball here in Molly McCann. And if Molly doesn't get hurt, which she usually doesn't, she'll probably be able to cruise just fine with the volume she throws. So, yeah. And I really like Molly. I do like Molly at strawweight. I went against her last time against Diana Belbitsa. I took a dog shot on that one, and I was very, very impressed by that like performance. I don't think Belbitsa is as bad as like other people think she is. I think she's actually pretty alright. And yeah, great performance from Molly McCann. She looks good in this weight class, and yeah, I think she's gonna win this one. I think you could probably parlay her. I'm not parlaying her. I'm not interested in doing that. After that Stoliarenko fight, I didn't even bet Molly McCann to win that fight. I bet Molly McCann to outstrike Stoliarenko, and she didn't even do that. So I can't even. And doesn't make me happy. So yeah, I got Molly McCann to win that fight. Probably lock of the card, to be honest. I would decision. Yeah, would decision. I'll give some credit to Pineda to survive. If Wood survives the first round, he's got this in the bag. Pineda's gonna gas. Pineda don't win decisions. Nathaniel Woods knows what's coming in this fight. Knows what's ahead of him against Daniel Pineda. He's gonna trust himself. He's gonna keep himself safe. And I think if he does that, and I do think he's gonna do that, he's gonna cruise. So, I like Nathaniel Wood to win this one. Not much to say about that one. Arnold Allen versus Giga Chikadze. I really like Arnold Allen to win a decision. Giga Chikadze is tough as nails. I'll give respect to where it's due. This is the first time in a while that Arnold Allen has had a favorable matchup. And Allen in these unfavorable matchups has been doing really well. I think Allen's going to be able to do what he wants. I think he can take down Giga Chikadze. I think he can use his boxing style where he's going to keep himself close to Giga and really like go ham on him with a bunch of volume. And Giga's not going to have space to really work in those kicks in my eyes. I think Allen, that quickness of Allen is just it's a thing of beauty. I love him in this spot, Arnold Allen. I have him definitely bet. He's my second biggest bet of the card. So yeah, I love Arnold Allen to win. I think he's got this in the bag. Next fight up the card: Christian Leroy Duncan versus Gregory Rodriguez. I got CLD to win by first round KO. Little bowl mo, and I love RoboCop. I love this dude so much. His chin's a liability, and the two things I said: fight IQ is king, cardio is king. Fight IQ is a bit of a problem with Gregory Rodriguez because he's willing to bang with dudes. You probably shouldn't be banging with. Take it to the ground if you're Gregory Rodriguez. If you take it to the ground, you have such a big advantage. You have such a massive advantage against Christian Leroy Duncan. That reach discrepancy, I think, is going to be big. I think that heavily does favor CLD, but especially with how he fights. I can't unsee a reality where CLD lands a spinning elbow and Gregory Rodriguez falls down to it, like gets dropped by it. I can't unsee it. If I call that, that would be pretty sick. But CLD on the feet is so nasty. He's working with the champ. He's working with Leon Edwards, which I think is a really good sign. I think this is a show. This is where he shows out and does it on the big stage. I love CLD here. Maybe not love, but I like him a lot. I do have him bet. I like the odds enough to put some money on CLD. It's just I'm betting against Fight IQ with Gregory Rodriguez. If he takes to the ground, he probably wins. He probably wins. I totally get that. But even if he does try to do that, I think CLD can catch him with something and really hurt Gregory Rodriguez. Just that he's too clean. He's too clean of a striker for Gregory Rodriguez. Gregory's good on the feet. Don't get me wrong, but this guy's super talented. There's no denying CLD's talent. I got CLD to win. Bobby Green versus Patty Pim. I'm just picking English fighters except for Oban Elliott, I think. Did I haven't even okay, I guess I didn't pick Jake Hadley. Oh, Marcin Pacino and Brett. Okay. That's not true. That's not true. I'm not doing that. Patty Pimblett versus Bobby Green. I was picking Bobby Green until recently. I got Patty to win by, let's say, sub round 1. 2. Round 1. I think round 1 makes more sense. No, I'm going 2. I'm going with 2. No, round 1. Round 1. It is. We're done. We're done. To me, again, methods don't matter the most to me. Patty Pimblett. He's looking the best shape of his life. I've liked some of the things I've heard from what he said, and it's like, please grapple. I beg of you, don't stand with this guy. Do not stand with Bobby Green. That'd be bad. That would be bad. Patty Pimblett's hands are atrocious. They're absolutely atrocious. They're not as bad as I thought they were when I rewatched the Tony Ferguson fight. But why throw them? His kicks, though, actually pretty good. I gotta admit, he actually has pretty good kicks. But his ground game is where he excels. He's got a phenomenal ground game, and I think that's where he's gonna be able to exploit Bobby Green here. I do think that the most likely scenario in this fight is Bobby Green. Bobby Green keeping safe and striking masterclass as Bobby Green does, but he's had really bad looks as of recent. He's been getting dropped by so many. He got dropped by Tony Ferguson, got dropped by Jim Miller. I mean, the Jalen Turner one, probably life-changing. Drew Dober knocked him out bad. I don't like a lot of the things going into this fight for Bobby Green, and I think those things really worry me. And against Patty Pimblett, he's in his prime, ready to make a run. Bobby Green, 37. I think Patty gets his. I forgot to mention something that I think that did all help get me going to Patty Pimblett. The size. Patty's big. He's big for the weight class. And I know everything Bobby Green throws at him, he's not going to maybe not everything, but most of the things that thrown at Patty, he's going to take it. He's going to take it, no problem. So I think Patty wins. He's going to be able to get Green down somehow. Maybe a knockdown, some random knockdown, or I more so hope a wrestling approach wrestles Bobby down and gets a sub. That's what I think is going to happen with Patty. I have a small amount bet on Patty. Not much on Patty Pimblett. I don't trust him like that, but yeah, I think Patty wins. Curtis Blades versus Tom Aspinall. These odds are insane, although I think they come down a bit, which is good. We'd like to see that. It's just Tom Aspinall KO round 1. I do think it's possible to get a sub too. Tom Aspinall is freaking good everywhere. Like, the worry is the gas tank. I do think that's a worry, but like, it's a worry based off. We don't really have anything to really go off of to know if he really does gas, other than, well, he is pretty explosive. So like, because of how explosive he is, how fast he is, like that could play a factor. But I don't think it happens here. This is not the fight. It'll be like the John Jones fight. We would need to see that if we ever get that. I don't think we will. But Tom Aspinall is just a freaking monster on the feet. His boxing speed is, he's so fast on the feet, and you can't fight, especially when I've heard the interviews. Not Chris Curtis. What am I saying? Curtis Blades. They have the same last. His last name is his first name. Curtis Blades. He's been saying that he's treating this fight like every other fight. I don't like that with this fight in particular, because the angles Aspinall takes is just, it's a thing of beauty, and just on the feet is such, it's such a difference. I think with like both, the only guy on the feet in this division I think can compete is really Ciryl Gane. Ciryl. Unless there's some other guy. Belal to Spain. I don't know. Probably not. It's Ciryl. Yeah, it's just, he's so fast on the feet. His shin's up in the air. That does worry me. Don't get me wrong. So he could get cracked himself. But that speed kills. Speed kills. I do think he can get a takedown. If Curtis Blades takes him down, I think he'll be fine, because people don't realize just how good this guy's jiu-jitsu is. His jiu-jitsu is so good. I think he'll get a sweep. I think he can get a ground and pound finish. I think he can get a submission. Tom Aspinall's that dude. He's that dude. And yeah, shout out to the champ. I took a picture with him at UFC 300, so that was pretty cool. But I'm not picking him because of that. Tom Aspinall at home in Manchester. I like him to win. Big dude. I don't think he gets wrestled. That I think he gets the finish early. Man, also, I want to say this because I was at this first fight. I was at Aspinall versus Blades in London. That card. Oh my god, that was such a sucky way to end that card. And that card wasn't even the best. That was by far the worst card I've ever been to, and it was still a fun time. But my god, that sucked. Aspinall, get revenge, or not revenge, but like do it for the UK fans who saw you got injured last time against Blades. Show him what would have happened. And we have our main event. Leon Edwards versus Belal Muhammad. This is the big bet. This is my biggest bet ever. My biggest bet ever. Leon Edwards to win by KO round 3. I think he's going to finish him. I love Leon Edwards here. I everything about Leon Edwards, he's that dude. He's that dude. He's not my favorite fighter in the UFC, but damn, well, he's damn close to it. He's number 3 for me. Leon Edwards on the feet is just a thing of beauty. And these people who don't understand, this dude's grappling and wrestling is there too. He's so good. Leon Edwards is good everywhere. I don't think people are ready for Leon Edwards to try and take down Belal Muhammad and probably get one. I do think he's gonna get one. I think he outclasses Belal Muhammad everywhere. I think he's legitimately better everywhere. I think you can argue like takedown defense, Belal Muhammad's better, because Belal Muhammad's takedown defense is incredible. We saw that in the Damian Maia fight. Like that guy's takedown defense is like, it's hard to deny. But Leon Edwards, the much bigger guy, long reach. Belal Muhammad really doesn't move his head. He moves his body. Like, you don't see Belal get hit too much in his fights because Belal like moves like it's footwork at the end of the day. But against a guy like Leon, I don't think you're gonna have that. It's not gonna go so well. He's gonna find you. He's gonna catch you. And you don't move your head when you're doing that. Just Leon's gonna get you. He's gonna get you. On the feet, it's Leon Edwards all day, man. It really is. Unless Belal can hurt him, anything's possible in this sport. It can happen, but it definitely favors Leon on the feet. I think Leon's gonna have a lot of success. Those body kicks are a thing of beauty. Shout out to Belal Muhammad's body kicks. His body kicks are really good. When I watched the Gilbert fight, I was like, damn. The one thing I took away from that fight was Belal Muhammad has freaking good body kicks. That's the biggest thing I took away from that. But like, still, he's just outclassed on the feet. I want to address these like past performances from Leon Edwards, like the Colby fight. It's like, what was Leon doing? What is Colby doing? Why isn't he going for it? Why isn't Usman going for it in the third fight? What's going on here? Why are these people fighting like this? Belal Muhammad's gonna push the pace like that. You can't just do that against Leon Edwards. You're going to get put out like that. You're going to get put out. You're going to get hurt like that. Like, the reason why Colby's not coming in stupid, all that, and doing other things, because Leon Edwards is that dude. He can hurt you with anything he throws. I think he hits really hard for this division. He fights, in the way he fights at counter style. So it's not like he doesn't force things. And I love that. I love that. These types of fighters are my favorite to like bet on. Like in the past, Leron Murphy, Menon Fior. Like, people are, they're such great minute winners. They have like intangibles like the power and stuff like that. Great takedown defense. They can they're great everywhere. Very good all rounders. They can do whatever they want. It's my absolute favorite like fighters like Volkanovski, Leon Edwards, Leron Murphy. Like those guys like pop into my head when I'm thinking of like these kinds of fighters who go to decision usually. But like, it doesn't mean they're not alive for a finish. What else? I have more points. 35-year-old curse, if you believe that. Belal's 36. Leon's 32. We're at home for Leon. Well, not home because Birmingham is his home, but he's in the UK. Favors Leon. I don't necessarily think that's gonna be like rigging in judges, but like the crowd's they're gonna ooh and ah everything Leon Edwards does, and because that can sway the judges. It's very possible. What else? He's been wrestling a bunch. And I like that. Like, what I mean by that is the fights he's had scheduled against Colby Covington, Usman the third time, Usman the second time. Then we have Nate Diaz, but then Belal Muhammad, which was supposed to be Hamza Chimaev, and that was like 3 times. And before that was Woodley. Leon Edwards has been training wrestling since 2019, really, like specifically. Like, for a lot of these guys who are going to wrestle Leon Edwards, because they don't want to be on the feet with this guy. And man, it's just, I don't think Belal Muhammad's gonna have the wrestling to do it. I don't rate his wrestling higher than Kamaru's. Neither Colby's, but Colby didn't really do anything crazy against Leon, and there's a reason for that. Like I said, there's a reason why Colby couldn't do what he could do. Leon Edwards was fine with getting into clinch exchanges with Colby Covington every time. He's fine with trying to wrestle him. He doesn't care. He's willing to do this stuff because he's that dude, Leon Edwards. He's great everywhere. Don't be surprised if he wrestles a bunch of dudes in like the future. He's going to do whatever he needs to win. And I absolutely love that about Leon Edwards. What else is there to add? I guess I can go over Belal's wins as a recent. Damian Maia, that's a good win. He was able to keep balance, and like his balance is like undeniably really, really good. I won't deny that. Like, did what he had to do against Damian Maia. A pretty easy fight for him. Stephen Thompson took him down. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson couldn't get up. Had nothing for him. I don't think that's a worry. Vicente Luque, like surprisingly did pretty well. And like looking back, let me take a look at the stats for that. Because if I remember correctly, yeah, like Luque landed the more significant strikes. And I was just like, that's interesting, especially because Luque was afraid of getting taken down, and that's why he was so hesitant. So him to land more significant strikes is like an eyebrow raise. Because I know Leon Edwards is he's gonna bring it. He's gonna do his thing. Like I said, Leon Edwards is one of the best minute winners in the UFC. Like, let me go on like a quick tangent saying this. just the way he manages the distance is, it's a thing of beauty. It's he does it to perfection. Perfection. And I love that about Leon Edwards. Man, I keep losing thought. What am I trying to say with that? Like, so I heard Robert Whitaker talk about this in his podcast. Like, shout out Robert Whitaker. He was talking about, his host was saying, well, like, Leon gets pressured a lot, but like it's not. But Robert Whitaker argues it's the opposite, and it's because of that distance control that Leon Edwards uses. It's pressure in its own, where it's like you're always thinking like because Leon Edwards throws so many feints. You're always thinking, he switches stances so often, and the reason why he's able to do that the reason why he does that is because guys are going to try and shoot on him, and you have to do a different like shot attempt if you're going to do that. That's why Usman didn't shoot as much in the third fight. That's the biggest reason why, and because Leon is just, he's so smart, and he knows his game so well, and I don't think a guy like Belal Muhammad's going to be the guy to really test Leon Edwards. The tests for Leon Edwards are, in my eyes, are going to be Shavkat Rakhmonov, JDM, and Ian Gary. Like, right now, of course, there's going to be some up and coming, maybe Michael Morales, who knows? But this dude, Leon Edwards, is that dude. Like I said, what else do I have to add? Because I feel like there's so much more. I'm probably going to make it like a single video dedicated to talking about this fight, because I'm super passionate. This is my biggest bet for a reason. I really, really, really believe in Leon Edwards. I think he wins. He can win a decision. I think he can win by KO. I think he can win by sub. When was the last time we saw Belal Muhammad on his back? It's been so long since we've seen that. I don't know how he's going to look off his back, and I think Leon Edwards is going to be able to. I think he's going to be able to take him down and put him into good positions for himself. I like that for Leon Edwards. And again, if he takes down Belal Muhammad on the feet is not going to be the same. And even when he's trying to wrestle, he's not going to be the same. That's the beauty of Leon Edwards, because Leon Edwards knows this guy's going to try to take him down. He probably will get like a takedown or two or whatever, but Leon Edwards is going to get back up. This has been the blueprint for every guy that's been fighting Leon Edwards. It's just been the blueprint. He knows what's coming. He's not afraid of it. He's ready for these style matchups. And Leon's ready to come. He's ready to come, win in the UK, undefeated in the UK. If you care about that kind of thing, that kind of narrative, UFC's on Leon's side. I know that for sure. After Dana White's comments from UFC 300, like he accepts all fights. I wish I could have signed Leon Edwards at UFC 300. It's one of my favorites. Again, it is what it is. But I couldn't. If he didn't, I wouldn't have bet on him. So in a way, I'm happy. Leon Edwards is that dude. Yeah, he's that dude. I don't. Yeah, I think I'm not worried. I think a lot of people talk about this card about being a late time or whatever. It's like this is such an advantage for the USA fighters. I don't really think so that much, because like these fighters in the UK are usually used to coming to America to fight. So like a time change is not the end of the world for them. They're gonna get used to it. They've done it many times before. They're the ones usually the accommodating. So I think that's like something to note and highlight. That's like, I don't think that's a big deal. I know Leon Edwards is definitely taking Belal Muhammad seriously. He's ready to go put on a good performance. And yeah, I love Leon Edwards to win this fight. So yeah, I guess I'll leave it on that. So yeah, just to view my picks, let's go over it real quick and probably talk about some betting stuff. Shauna Bannon, I think she wins this fight. I think Alice is live to gas, and because of that, Shauna can take over and get a submission. So yeah, I like her at these odds. I'm probably gonna bet it. I'm gonna bet it. And I think an under is sneaky, and I like the under 2.5. I think I'm gonna put a little sprinkle on that. Bresky McParkin is, I don't want to even touch this betting wise. I mean, maybe like a spread on Bresky, but I'm just not interested. Yeah. Sam Patterson, Kiefer Crosby. I want to play. It's at the number of Sam Patterson's at. Hell no, not interested in that. Maybe Kiefer Crosby KO round 1 if you, or not round 1, round 1 and 2 if you want, if you like that, but probably under would be okay. I'm not interested in playing under 1.5 at -200. It's not my thing. Yeah. Mamakayev, Manel Cap. It's such a tough fight. At the odds, Makayev's at. I could get to it. But like, not something that really got like stands out to me. Is like, I need to bet that. Yeah. -155. I think that's okay. That's okay. I don't really want much more than that though on Makayev, because yeah. And this might be the fight Cap shows himself out. So who knows? We'll see. Great fight. Oban Elliott versus Preston Parsons. I think if you like either side, the money line's probably the way to go. Yeah. Over 2.5, I think probably hits too. I think this fight does go over. I think both guys are really tough. Should be a really fun fight though. High pace too. Modestas Bukauskas versus Marcin Prachnio. I'm not interested in really betting this one. I mean, I guess Prachnio, it's dog or pass in my eyes. Plus 130s. Not even that much of a dog. I think it's dog or pass, but I'm not interested. Helen Loughran versus Jake Hadley. If I'm interested, I'm interested in Jake Hadley. Plus 170. Oh, it's okay. If I change my mind on Jake Hadley, I might end up doing that. And if I do, like I said, it'll be in the comments of this video. So, yeah. I'm going with Colin Loughran to be able to go on get on top of Jake Hadley and win. Molly McCann, Bruna Brazil. I think you can probably parlay her at these odds. You can bet her at these odds. I'm not really willing to do it. I'm not willing to do it, though. So, I got Molly McCann to win this fight. Danny Wood versus Dana Pineda. The odds have come down on Nathaniel Wood. So, that's good. If you don't care about making you want to make dumb parlays, if you want extra cents, like Nathaniel Wood, he should be fine to go. Yeah, I think Nathaniel Wood's very, very, very likely to win. I think minus 450, 430 where he's at right now. I think that's still bettable, if I'm honest. So I think that's value. Nathaniel Wood to win. Arnold Allen, I think at the odds now, they've come down a little bit. I like Arnold Allen to win, though. I think he's got big advantages here in this fight. I like him to win this fight. Yeah, I think money line, especially since it's come down now, I think it's worth it. CLD versus Gregory Rodriguez. This is a pretty nice line in comparison. Minus 145. I'll play it. No problem. I'm in. I'm in with that money line for Christian Leroy Duncan. Paddy Pimblett versus Bobby Green. I got Paddy at plus 107. I think at minus 105, I think you're better off just staying away. The reason why I wanted to bet Paddy at like plus money is because I want to arb it. I don't believe in Paddy that much. I'm hoping to be able to arb it possibly, but if not, I'm riding with Paddy anyways. It is what it is. Yeah. So yeah, I got Paddy to win. I do have money on him. And I got the money line. Tom Aspinall, Curtis Blades. The line has gotten better than it was. It was like minus 400 at one point. I was like, that's disgusting. But minus 370. It's probably not worth betting if I'm honest. But I do think Aspinall does win. Yeah, I like Aspinall to win. Leon Edwards, Belal Muhammad. Love the money line. It's minus 250 now. I got him at minus 198, minus 195 on Bovada. Just Leon Edwards, that dude. I think he's bettable up to minus 300. If I'm honest, I think so. Leon Edwards I think he outclasses Belal Muhammad completely. So yeah, that's the video. That's it. Yeah, very, very excited for this card. UFC 304, big bets. Hoping for a big win. Leon Edwards, pull through for me. I believe in you. Yeah, let's go. Very excited for this card. Check me on BetMMA.tips, champ bets, on a rough spout as a recent. Hopefully this is the card to get us back. Let's go. You can also check out my website, chatbetsmma.com. And yeah, thank you again for watching, and let's go. Let's go, Leon Edwards. Rocky. See you guys next time.